Welcome back, everybody, to the most informational channel on YouTube, Cybrid Reacts. Today, we're learning how to survive all apex predator attacks. All right, let's check it out.
Let's start with the ones that are least likely to attack and slowly work our way towards the most aggressive ones on the list. Number 17, eagles. There has only been one eagle attack on a human in recent history, but one is one too many, so we simply can't risk it. Obviously, as of right now, you wouldn't stand a chance against any apex predator.
I feel like the only way that an eagle would attack a human is if the human is Linguini and he's holding a rat inside of his hat and the eagle's trying to get the rat.
As of right now, you wouldn't stand a chance against any apex predator, but by the end of this video, you will have the knowledge to not only defend yourself, but also come out victorious every single time.
Oh, let's
After
go.
all, knowing is half the battle, and the other half is pure luck. Let's begin. You have entered a 1v1 against an eagle. Now, assuming you're not a small child or a little person, you won't have to worry about being carried away to its nest.
That would be crazy. That would be, imagine being a parent and you watch your 4-year-old child get swept away by an eagle. Could you even be mad at that point? I mean, what a legendary way to go out. Of all the ways to die, getting swept away, flying through the night sky from the talons of an eagle. That's pretty epic. If you ask me, like that's a pretty cool way to go.
Are you serious right now, bro?
I mean, yeah, sure, it's a 4-year-old child. That's pretty sad. But if you take that part out of the equation, pretty cool.
Leopard seals. Yeah, I had no idea these blobs were apex predators either. There have only been 2 documented cases of leopard seals attacking humans in recent history, with one of them being fatal. And I personally will not allow you to become one of those statistics. You're swimming in the Antarctic Ocean and a leopard seal has locked onto you. First, you must keep your eyes on the seal at all times, as you must be ready to counter its attack. Luckily, the seal is only capable of memorizing too. Depending on what the seal is seeing will determine which attack it chooses. First, you must know which of these 2 body types you currently have. If you're built like Figure 1, you can expect the bite and thrash attack. If you resemble Shape 2, the seal will attempt the bite and drag attack, taking you deeper into the ocean to drown you.
Oh,
now for the
God.
counter. You will begin by gouging the seal's eyes with both hands, as well as punching its snout with everything and anything you have. And once the seal sees that you're not worth the trouble, it will surely let go, allowing you to escape and swim to land.
I feel like underwater, though, that's way harder. Like, you can't move. Like, you don't have this kind of speed when you're underwater. You don't have the... You don't have that underwater. Underwater, it's kind of all like slow-mo. You're like... Get off me, seal. I just feel like it's not going to do that much damage. The eye gouging, though, that would probably actually work, though.
Obviously, once you're both on land, you've pretty much secured the win, since the seal's mobility is greatly compromised, and you can go ahead and finish him off with body shots.
They're 780 pounds, bro. 780 pounds. Ain't no way that you're winning that fight. Dude, they're 10 to 12 feet long. Like, sure, you might be able to break free and, like, escape, but you're not going to beat them to death. There's no way. There is no way. The only thing you can do is run away, because they're not going to catch you. The only way that they run is with their big belly. Like this. This is what they look like. And if you die to something looking like this, you deserve it. Next up, we have a snake.
Number 15, pythons. Now, surprisingly, this is the only apex predator on the list where you will have the option of simply walking away from the fight. But I know how it is. Sometimes our egos get the best of us, and we end up taking the fight anyway. There are only a few snakes in the world that are classified as apex predators and have also attacked humans. But don't worry, I'll be teaching you how to defeat them all. Let's start with the pythons. Now, if I'm going to teach you how to defeat a python, I might as well show you how to take out the largest one of them all, the reticulated python. This snake can reach a maximum weight of around 374 pounds and grow over 23 feet in length. If those stats make you nervous, stop embarrassing yourself. After all, are you really going to lose a fight to a girl? Since male pythons only grow to about half that size and are hardly even worth the battle. Let's begin. You've decided to stand your ground against the python. Now, the first thing you must do is keep the fight standing. This is very important for 2 reasons. 1, it will prevent the snake from getting leverage and constricting at full strength. And 2, it will prevent the spectators from booing. It will only be a matter of time before the snake gets a hold of you. So you must control its head while using your other hand to grab its tail and begin unwrapping it from your body. By this point, you will be covered in snake urine, so sliding him off
Ew.
shouldn't be an issue. Once you're free,
Why is
push
he
the snake
peeing?
away from you, and as long as the snake retreats, you've officially won the fight. If it chooses to return for more punishment, repeat step 1.
Yeah, but doesn't the snake bite onto you and then wrap itself around you when it's like sunken its fangs into you? Like, it's not as easy as just grabbing him and ripping him off because he's got his fangs like 4 inches deep in your skin. And then once he wraps around you, he's gonna start squeezing you and snapping like your ribs and everything. I don't know about that one. Everything else so far, I feel like I could get behind this one though. I don't know. Next up though, number 14, hyenas.
Number 13.
Never mind.
Hyenas. In
That was
Africa,
otters.
Hyenas will attack humans that sleep outside during the hot summer months, and I will do whatever it takes to make sure you could do that safely. But okay, let's begin. You have just been woken up in the middle of the night by the sound of a crunch. That crunch was your leg,
Oh,
but that doesn't
God.
matter now. You have entered a street fight. And whether you live or get shredded to pieces depends entirely on how well you can memorize the following information. Thankfully, you were abruptly woken up from your sleep, so remembering this life or death advice shouldn't be a problem. First, you must remain completely calm. Stand your ground, and whatever you do, never give your back to the hyena. Now, the reason you must do this is to not seem like prey, so try your absolute best to look like a predator. But if that doesn't come naturally, just mirror whatever the hyena does. If it takes a step toward you, take a step toward the hyena. If the hyena lets out a cackle, let out a cackle as well. Eventually, the hyena
That
will
sounds
see
like
that you're
fun.
not worth the trouble, and it will run away, leaving you with an easy win and minimal damage. Now, of course,
Yeah, but hyenas hunt in packs. So he said like don't face away from the hyena, but what about the 3 other or 4 other hyenas that are right behind you? Because then you have to go face them, and then when you're facing them, you're not facing the guy who was originally bit you, and now you're cooked.
some hyenas, like the spotted hyena, attack in clans with numbers
Right.
as high as 100. But this video only covers how to fight 1v1s, so
Okay.
you'll have to figure that one out yourself.
Yeah, you
Number
are so
12,
dead in that
orcas.
case.
You may not know this, but orcas are some of the easiest apex predators to defeat in the wild.
No
Let
way.
me explain how these fights typically go. You are enjoying your day swimming in the open ocean, but unbeknownst to you, you have just entered a fight with an orca. As the killer whale breaches the water all around you, you just have to do what comes naturally, which is breaking out into a complete panic. And before you know it, the fight is over. We really are a lot scarier and more intimidating than we give ourselves credit for. Now, I must warn you, if this fight takes place in an unsanctioned cage fight, like the ones you see at SeaWorld, the odds of winning are pretty much non-existent. After all, us humans perform best in street fights, where there are no rules.
I don't even know, like, what? What was even the advice there? To panic and poop yourself? And you're good? I mean, I guess I could do that. That's not too out of the ordinary for me. Anything in the water, though, I feel like I'm losing too. I'm not a good water person. I'm not Michael Phelps. Next up, though, we have a Komodo dragon.
Komodo dragons. Since 1974, there have been 24 Komodo dragon attacks on humans, including 5 fatalities.
It's really not
But
that many.
today, we'll put an end to that once and for all. Let's begin. A Komodo dragon just made the worst decision of its life. It chose to start a fight with you. Lucky for you, you were prepared thanks to this video. Now, in the rare case where a Komodo dragon catches you on a bad day, where you're just not in the mood for a fight, you can simply sprint your way to a victory. Since they have terrible stamina and can only reach a pathetic speed of 13 miles per hour, the average human can sprint around 14 miles per hour, so expect to dust him by at least a couple of feet. But if I know you like I think I do, I know that you would never turn down a fight with a Komodo dragon. So let's begin. First, you must be aware of the Komodo dragon's bite. If this attack lands, it will one-shot you, since it's highly venomous. Next, you'll exploit the lizard's terrible mobility by running away from its charge attack in random zigzag patterns. You will repeat this counter until the lizard's stamina is completely drained. You will know you've reached this point when the lizard inevitably turns around and quits. This will be your chance to get creative and chain together whatever combos you desire, winning the fight by whatever you want.
I'm surprised at this point in the video, he hasn't just, like, suggested to be strapped at all times. This way, whenever there is a predator, you just whip it out. Bam, pa, 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 pa. What are they gonna do? There's nothing they can do. GG. It literally doesn't matter what it is.
Cobras. King cobras kill around 5 people per year, and
Wow.
you will not be one of them. Now, similar to the python, the choice of engaging in the fight is totally up to you.
I don't even really agree with that because a lot of snakes kind of just coil up and hide in the wild. And typically the only time that snakes will attack a human is if they feel threatened. And a lot of times humans will accidentally step on or near a snake to the point where the snake then feels threatened and then it will attack. And in those cases, the humans don't even know. Like, they don't even know that they're close to a snake. They just get bit by one. And if you get bit by a king cobra, well, you may as well start praying because your chances of living are not very high.
Your option of simply walking away is available, but I don't blame you if you want to teach the snake a lesson it will never forget. This fight always begins when you unexpectedly corner a king cobra, locking you into the 1v1. The first thing you must do is stay calm, remain as still as possible, and back away slowly to give yourself some space. Any fast movements here could initiate a strike, which again would one-shot you. Now, if you're Indian, you can simply pick up the snake and place it down in a more favorable location. But once you and the snake are in an open area, you've pretty much won the fight, since the snake will take every opportunity it can to run away.
I have seen a video, I guess it was an Indian guy, I don't know, but there's a video of a dude who's like in a pit of king cobras, and they're all like hissing at him, some of them jump at him, and anytime one of them jumps at him, he dodges it, and then with his bare hands, bang! Smacks him in the head. Let me see if I can find it. It is the most alpha video I've ever seen. This dude has balls of steel, it's really unbelievable. Bare hands, watch this. Look, king cobras everywhere. They're everywhere. Look, they're all hissing at him. He's pulling them out of bags. He's putting them in bags. Look at that. Look at that. Bang! Get off me, little boy. How crazy is this? There's like 1,000 king cobras in there. Oh my god. That is like his maxed out aura. He is the aura king. No one has more aura than that.
Number 9, jaguars. Real quick, for the two of you out there that prefer to avoid this fight, let me get you out of the way first. You've just stumbled across a jaguar in the wild. The first thing you must do is avoid eye contact at all costs, since the cat will interpret this as a challenge. Thankfully, we mastered this skill a long time ago, so this shouldn't be an issue.
Good point.
Next, you must back away very slowly without ever turning your back on the cat, as any fast movements here can trigger the jaguar's predator instinct. If you did all of that correctly, your odds of surviving the encounter should be decent. Now, with those two bozos out of the way, time to talk to the rest of you who are itching to let your hands go. So let the mental warfare begin. First, you must make yourself look as big as possible, lifting your shirt, backpack, child, or whatever other disposable items you may have. Next, begin to shout at the cat in a stern voice. This should intimidate the cat. In the rare instance that the cat chooses to attack, you must stand your ground and protect your head at all costs, as it will attempt to crush your skull. In many instances, if the jaguar's initial bite fails, the odds of it fleeing are very high. But if it does manage to latch onto you, you must punch and elbow the cat's eyes and snout with all of your power to convince the cat that you're not to be messed with. Remember, others have successfully backed down a jaguar attack, so you can too. And before you know it, you will be the one standing in the jungle covered in the cat's blood and asking for more.
Yeah, I feel like in the wild, probably the best move for the majority of attacks, and I know it's cruel, but again, there ain't no rules in the wild.
Mountain lions. In
Great,
North America,
another lion
there have
thing.
been around 30 fatal mountain lion attacks
Oh
since
my
1868.
gosh.
Mountain lions are ambush predators, but there are many videos here on YouTube where they change their play style and instigate fights with humans head on. And that's the style of fight we will be focusing on. Now, the most common mistake people make when they encounter an aggressive mountain lion is believing that they are in any real danger to begin with, since the 1v1 was against their dog. Now, assuming you're alone, the fight has become much easier. First, you must never break eye contact with the cat. Run away, crouch down, or turn your back to the animal. But once you're dialed in, let the mental warfare begin. Start by yelling at it. Next.
Wait, this is confusing because the last big cat, you were supposed to not look at it, but this big cat, you are supposed to stare at it and never break eye contact. Oh, I'm never gonna remember that.
Shirt over your head and appear larger. And lastly, swing your arms wildly to show off your insane speed. This will remind the cat that it is incredibly outmatched. In the rare chance that this doesn't work, you will have to initiate plan 2.
I think that's too embarrassing for me to do. You know, I'd rather just fight the thing than lose all that aura. Especially if I'm like with my family or something. If they catch me doing this to freaking get that thing away, I've lost all credibility in my life. Just fight me at that point. Like, let's just scrap. Let's go.
Walking the entire trail backwards as the cat continuously charges at you, in the hopes that you will trip and fall. But this next step is crucial if you want to win. Quickly grab a rock from the floor and toss it in the direction of the cat,
start pegging
which
it.
will quickly scare it off.
I do
There's
like
only one
that.
video on all of YouTube where a guy does exactly that, which means it works 100% of the time.
I did play baseball growing up, so I feel like I could drill that thing in the dome a couple times. Now I kind of want to find one just to see what would happen. Now that I have a strategy, pick up rock, throw rock, pick up rock, throw rock. If that doesn't work, squiggly arm, and if that doesn't work, well, I'm dead.
Number 7, alligators. There are an average 10 to 15 alligator attacks per year, with
Wow.
around 2 of those being fatal.
They gotta be in
Most of them
Florida.
occurring in Florida.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure that you guys can enjoy Florida's amazing weather, the entire 3 months of it. Rule number 1, never enter the water in states that have alligators, as a fight there is a guaranteed loss. With that out of the way, let's begin. An alligator has decided to gamble its life by entering into a street fight with you. This matchup shouldn't be a problem, as you will have many options from the start. You can taunt the takedown, baiting the alligator's charge attack, which is easily countered by sprinting in a straight line, quickly depleting the alligator's stamina bar. Of course, you can further slow it down by spamming calf kicks, reducing its mobility further. Another option is simply running around it in a circle, taking advantage of its terrible turning radius. At this point, it's only a matter of time before the alligator admits defeat, and leaving you with an easy W.
It's crazy that an animal with so many flaws has been able to survive for millions and millions of years. Because he is totally right. Like, alligators can't really turn very well. They're kind of like a rhino. They don't really have great stamina. You know, I feel like you could just take a stick and start smacking it in the head. Bang, 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 bang.
Number 6, bears. Over 40 people are attacked by bears every single year. But today, it all stops. Grizzly bears and polar bears have obviously spec'd into the tank build, so they're going to require as much knowledge as possible to defeat. I will cover both fighting strategies, so by the end of this section, you will be completely comfortable around both of them. Let's start with the easier of the two, the grizzly bear. A grizzly bear typically enters a fight when it's threatened, has cubs, or is caught by surprise. That's why I highly recommend you carry a Bluetooth speaker and play it at maximum volume anytime you're in a public park, which would be greatly appreciated by other visitors. Now, if by some reason a bear is crazy enough to pick a fight with you, don't worry. You'll be prepared for just that. First, you'll need to warm up by curling up into the fetal position and playing dead. Now, make sure to hold this power stance, even if the bear begins to chain together attacks. And with a little bit of luck and a lot of heart, the bear should eventually back off.
If it's brown, stay down. If it's black, attack. If it's white, good night. That is the bear fighting mantra.
Seeing that you're a tank build as well. Now, fighting a polar bear is basically the complete opposite of what you just learned. Unlike the grizzly bear, the polar bear will attempt to eat you if it's slightly hungry. He'll basically take a look at you and think to himself, yeah, I could eat. Which has happened around 75 times since the 1870s. Luckily, if you're in a pinch, playing dead against a polar bear will end the fight very quickly, in about 3 bites or so. If a polar bear locks onto you, you must try your best to look intimidating, doing all the usual tactics. And if you're attacked, you must fight back with everything you have, targeting its eyes and nose. Now, you're probably thinking, physical attacks won't do much to a polar bear. Wrong. And to prove that, there's even a famous saying, if it's black, fight back. If it's brown, lay down. And if it's white, good night. So obviously, physical attacks work.
I don't think so. Polar bears are terrifying. I'm pretty sure they're even bigger than grizzly bears. Those things are like demons on planet Earth. Have you guys ever seen like a shaved polar bear? I'll show you. These are demons roaming Earth. We live amongst these creatures. Oh my. Okay, this one's adorable. I can't lie. Look at it. He's so cute. Oh, look at him. And then they grow up to be this. Oh, God. Oh, my God.
Wolf. With around 500 wolf attacks around the world since 2002, this is a matchup you need to get familiar with. I'm just gonna say it now. I don't want to read in my comments that you were attacked by a wolf after this video drops. Alright, let's begin. First things first, let me cover what you should never do. Don't run. You're not fast nor agile enough. And never bring your dog to wolf country, as they're known to provoke an attack. so quickly take them out. With that out of the way, let the fight begin. You must stand your ground and keep eye contact at all times.
Let's
Do
go,
all of the
boy.
usual things to appear as large and intimidating as possible. This will make the wolf think twice before attacking you head on.
I could take a
If
wolf.
the animal does charge, it will more than likely latch itself onto your arm, which sadly means he fell right into your trap. As you
Knee,
let elbows
elbow,
rain down on
yup.
its eyes, snout, and head, the wolf will have no option but to retreat. If the 12 to 6 elbows are not having an effect, begin gouging its eyes.
Oh!
And if that doesn't work either, you will have to resort to dirty and cheap tactics. Blowing on
Kick
its
him in the
face.
nuts? Wait, what? I do wonder, like, people who train martial arts, like, if you train jujitsu, if you'd be able to put him in, like, a triangle choke, you know? Because if he's got your arm, then you could jump full guard, throw up your legs, put him in a triangle in your legs, and just squeeze him. I feel like that could actually work.
Number 4, sharks. These 3 sharks have been responsible for thousands of attacks on humans, averaging around 70 per year.
Oh my
but we can all
God.
agree it stops today. Now, you would think since this fight takes place in the ocean that this would present some issues. Wrong. With the correct knowledge, a shark doesn't stand a chance. After all, the ocean was our first home. You are enjoying a beautiful day at the beach snorkeling at a reef, when suddenly, this wall closes behind you. First, you must remain calm and slowly work your way towards the shore or boat as you maintain eye contact with the shark. This is because sharks specialize in the surprise attack. Usually, awkward eye contact is enough to stop an attack, but in rare instances,
It's like me and women. Anyway.
shark might be determined enough to approach. If he does, gently push his snout away from you. But if for some reason it gets aggressive and turns back around, this is when you'll introduce him to your legs and fists, striking its snout, eyes, and gills. Now that you're loose out there, it's time to go for the finish. Simply flip the shark upside down, initiating the tonic immobility move, a KO that will leave the shark in a state of paralysis.
Does that actually work?
Instantly ending the fight. So that fight will just end the way it typically does, with the shark getting a mouthful of preservatives, GMOs, and food dyes.
And you lost your
leaving you in
leg.
pure disgust. Number 3, tigers. Finally a fair matchup. There are around 100 fatalities each year from tigers alone, mainly in India, Bangladesh, Nepal, and Indonesia.
Okay, but how did tigers get to all these different islands? Did they take a boat? You know, like I know it's kind of a silly question, but like actually, how do tigers get from India all the way to here, to there, to there, to there, to there? How did that happen? Ain't no way they swam, I know that. No way.
Nepal, and Indonesia. So for those of you who plan on visiting, pay attention. But for the majority of you, go ahead and skip to the next section. You are now in a fight with a tiger. Let's first cover what not to do. Don't run, crouch, lay down, or play dead. This is basically handing the tiger a win, and that's not what we're about on this channel. Next, never approach a tiger if it has cubs, since you will surely be outnumbered.
Well, I feel like you should never approach a tiger no matter what, regardless of whether or not it has cubs.
And last but not least, never urinate on yourself. I'm not kidding. Urinating is seen as a form of aggression. With that out of the way, let's talk
Wow.
about what you need to do to win. You must stay calm, back away slowly to give yourself some space. Make yourself seem as large and intimidating as possible. If the tiger still decides that you're a pipsqueak, this would be the time to show him what you're made of. Like always, you offer your weak arm and begin to attack the eyes,
Bang,
ears,
bang,
and
bang,
nose
bang.
using rocks, sticks, and fists. Once you get sick of being dragged around, you can use your free arm and stick it down its throat, hitting its gag
Hey,
reflex
yo.
and releasing you. I didn't make that up. This guy did. If all else fails, climb the nearest tree. Tigers are terrible climbers and will more than likely leave the match instead of doing any real work.
Wow, that surprised me because there's a lot of cats out there that are really good tree climbers.
Number 2, lions. With hundreds of attacks per year, this matchup
These
isn't
dang
one you can
cats,
sleep
man.
on. Let's begin with what
Isn't it crazy that there's so many big cats that kill humans every single day? Yet people still have house cats. Like we, as a species, humans love cats, but they kill us more than anything else. More than any other animal, I should say. Why? Why are we so affectionate towards cats?
not to do. You must never run, crouch, lay on the floor,
Probably the same
play
thing as a
dead,
tiger.
or climb any trees, as that will make you an easy target. First, you must begin with the mental warfare. Make yourself look as large and scary as possible. If this doesn't work, the lion will more than likely use its charge attack.
Now, sometimes in street fights, I will just take my pants off because that'll scare away any attacker. I don't think that would work against the lion. He might just like laugh at me and be like, what is that thing between? Never mind. Also, I'm kidding. I don't actually do that. But I think it would work. I do think it would work.
Stopping a few feet away from you to see how you react. Obviously, a pathetic attack like this doesn't have much of an effect. But if the lion is crazy enough to commit to an attack, it will attempt to go for your neck. So keep your hands up and be ready to sleep him. Now, if the straight right down the pipe doesn't connect, the lion will probably latch itself onto your arm, chest, or leg. From here, it's time to make him pay. Chain together elbows, fists,
headbutts,
rocks, and stick attacks to his eyes, ears, and muzzle. Remember, many humans have made lions quit by using rocks, and you have something much stronger than rocks: heart. And with a little bit of spit and elbow grease, you should squeak your way to a W.
Similar to hyenas, though, lions do hunt in packs very often, more times than not. So fending off one might not be enough. Anyway, we are now on to number 1. My guess is that it's hippos. I'm pretty sure hippos kill a lot of humans. Let's see what it is.
Number 1, crocodiles. Does it get any more pathetic than these guys? Camping the water's edge and one-shotting humans for thousands of years is starting to get old.
That is messed up.
This might come as a surprise, but crocodiles attack humans more than any other apex predator on Earth, with as many as 1,000 fatal attacks per year.
I thought it was hippos, bro.
You can no longer ignore. Some of these crocodiles currently have a 63% win rate.
Wow.
So I think it's about time we lower it. Right, let's begin with what not to do. As tempting as it may be, never get in crocodile-infested waters, or even approach the water's edge, as that is where the majority of losses occur. Saltwater and Nile crocodiles are the two species that view humans as prey, so it's your job to change their mind. A saltwater crocodile has just locked onto you. First, keep your distance, as the croc will more than likely spam its charge attack, which is easily countered by sprinting in a straight line. This is because the attack maxes out at 20 to 30 meters before it drains its entire stamina bar. While it struggles to recover, you will toss your shirt over its eyes, which puts the crocodile in a relaxed, trance-like state. This is when you'll want to quickly circle behind it and rip some body shots.
Bang, bang,
of course,
bang.
These will have no effect, but are crucial in tenderizing the meat if you plan on eating him. And once the crocodile recovers, just rinse and repeat. You will know the fight is over when the croc no longer moves, due to the buildup of lactic acid in its legs and blood. The lack of movement could also indicate that the croc has simply died. I'm not kidding. Apparently, if crocodiles overexert themselves, they just die.
Wow.
Which is one of the most pathetic moves I've ever heard of, taking it so far as to not admit defeat.
That is pretty sad. Again, the animal that comes from the dinosaur age can die that easily. That's pretty embarrassing. But there we go. Now we can all 1v1 any apex predator in the world. If you guys enjoyed today's video and want to watch another one, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and click right here.